Have you ever seen a moment so shocking, so unfair, yet so powerful that it changed everything? Imagine this. A black woman is driving home late at night after a long day at work. She's calm, quiet, and then red and blue flashing lights explode in her rearview mirror. A police officer steps out. His voice is sharp, his tone is full of arrogance. He doesn't know who she is. He doesn't know her story. He only sees the color of her skin. But what happens next will leave you speechless. Judge Valerie Owens was one of the youngest black female judges in her state. She had worked her way up from nothing: scholarships, sleepless nights, endless battles with doubt. She knew what it meant to fight for respect. That night, she wasn't in her courtroom. She wasn't wearing the robe or holding the gavel. She was just a tired woman in her car, driving home after reviewing case files. On the other side of town, Officer Mark Daniels was on patrol. Known for his tough attitude, he carried himself like he owned the streets. But deep down, he carried something darker, prejudice he didn't even bother hiding. As soon as Officer Daniels saw Valerie's car, he decided she looked suspicious. No traffic violation, no broken light, just a judgment based on the color of her skin. He pulled her over aggressively. His flashlight beamed through her window. "License and registration, now!" he barked. Valerie, calm but slightly shaken, handed over her documents. "Officer, may I ask why I'm being stopped?" she said softly. Her politeness seemed to irritate him. "You people always have an attitude. Step out of the car," he snapped. Her heart pounded. She wasn't just a driver. She was a judge who had seen cases of police abuse, who had listened to victims cry in her courtroom. And now, she was living it. She asked firmly, "Officer, am I being detained? Or is this just harassment?" The word harassment lit a fire in him. His face tightened. "Step out of the car before I make you." Valerie took a slow breath. She knew resisting could make things worse. She opened the door and stepped out, standing tall under the flashing lights. Daniels towered over her, trying to intimidate her. "Where are you coming from? What are you doing out here this late? Drugs? Alcohol?" he demanded. Valerie's patience was thinning, but she kept her voice steady. "Officer, I suggest you look at the name on my license again." He glanced at it, smirked, and shrugged. "So what? Doesn't mean you're not hiding something." That was the moment he reached for his cuffs. He was actually about to arrest her for nothing. Before the cuffs could snap shut, Valerie spoke clearly with authority. "Officer Daniels, I am Judge Valerie Owens, and tomorrow morning you are scheduled to appear in my courtroom for a disciplinary review." His hands froze. His smirk vanished. He stumbled back, suddenly pale. The flashing lights reflected off his face as reality crashed down on him. He hadn't just stopped a random driver. He had targeted a sitting judge. And the most humiliating part? The next day, she would be the one deciding his fate. The silence between them was heavy. Valerie didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Her calm authority was louder than any siren. She looked him in the eye and said, "This is exactly why people fear the badge. Not because of the law, but because of the abuse of it." Daniels lowered his head, knowing his career was hanging by a thread. The next morning, word spread quickly in the courthouse. People were shocked, some were outraged, others felt vindicated. And when Valerie took her seat on the bench, she delivered a message not just to him, but to everyone listening. In this courtroom, justice is blind. But on the streets, it must not be blind to prejudice. The badge is not a weapon. It is a responsibility. Her words went viral. Students quoted her. News anchors replayed her speech. And across the country, people felt hope, that even in the darkest moments, truth can shine through. So the next time you see someone being treated unfairly, remember this. Power isn't always about shouting the loudest. Sometimes it's about standing tall, speaking truth, and letting justice do the rest.